Ladies and gentlemen and friends from the media, Buluvinaka and good afternoon. My name is Ross Andalithiram and I will be moderating the joint press conference this afternoon. As you may already be aware, this is the second visit of the State Councilor and Minister for Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Mr. Wang. He first visited Fiji in 2018 and he is here today with a 20-member delegation. Councillor Yi has already held his bilateral meeting with the Honorable Prime Minister this morning and just a few moments ago co-hosted with the Prime Minister the second China-Pacific Island countries foreign ministers meeting. With regards to our press conference and protocols for this afternoon, the Honorable Prime Minister will deliver his statement first, followed by His Excellency. May I remind members of our media that no questions will be asked at this press conference. I will now invite the Honorable Prime Minister to deliver a statement.
Thank you, members of the press. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure to welcome back the State Councilor and Minister for Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Wang to Fiji. Much has changed since 2018 when Minister Wang last visited us. As you all know, a pandemic has completely upended the world economy. Climate impacts have intensified, and Russia's war in Ukraine has sent food, fuel, and freight prices skyrocketing. We cannot retreat from the field of multilateralism in the face of these multiple crises. Indeed, global cooperation and international law have never mattered more. We all know plenty of eyes have been on Suva during this visit. I hope we also know that geopolitical point scoring means less than little to anyone whose community is sleeping beneath the rising seas, whose job has been lost to a pandemic, or whose family is impacted by the rapid rise in the price of commodities. And I urge the media who have intensely covered this visit to rise above the political punditry and put a focus on how we can solve these challenges together. Minister Wang Yi and I had an excellent discussion on how Fiji and China can strengthen our partnership to take on the greatest threats facing the Pacific. Our meeting today was guided by mutual respect and the common interest of our people's continued socio-economic progress. We have a solid foundation on which to build. Fiji's friendship with China has helped develop infrastructure, train our people, and deliver essential medical supplies, which accelerated our post-pandemic recovery. As I have done with every leader I meet, I sought a stronger commitment from China on climate action. As a global community, we remain woefully short of cutting emissions in line with the 1.5 degrees Celsius target of the Paris Agreement. And I will continue to push for a phase out of coal and other fossil fuels by all economies as quickly and practically as possible. We also discussed the importance of combating illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, opportunities to expand sustainable ocean management in the Pacific, and ways we help Fijian exporters land more of their highly quality products and produce in the Chinese market. After our bilateral meeting, I also had the privilege of co-chairing the second China-Pacific Island countries foreign ministers meeting with Minister Wang Yi. China is a forum dialogue partner in the Pacific Islands Forum and is also an important bilateral partner to the 10 Pacific Island countries that met today. As always, we put consensus first among our countries throughout any discussion on new regional agreements. I look forward to our continued engagement under existing arrangements in the upcoming 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent, which will provide our guiding framework for Pacific partnership in a rapidly changing world. As we build back better and stronger, Fiji will continue to seek fertile ground for our bilateral relationships. The challenges our people face will only intensify until collective solutions rise to meet them. And I'm grateful to the Minister and his team for bringing a spirit of productive cooperation with them to Fiji. Minister, Vinakabakalemu, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister, for those remarks. May I now invite His Excellency to deliver a statement.
各位记者朋友，大家好！我这次对斐济的访问非常的成功，感谢总理阁下还有斐济人民给予我们的热情友好的款待。
Friends from the media, good afternoon. My visit to Fiji this time is highly successful. I would like to thank the Prime Minister and people of Fiji for such warm hospitality.
我们一致认为，建交47年来，中非关系历久弥新，最根本的一条就是双方始终相互尊重、相互信任、相互支持。中方赞赏菲方坚定奉行一个中国的政策，将一如既往支持斐济维护社会稳定和民族和谐，支持斐济奉行独立自主的外交政策，支持斐济在国际和地区事务当中发挥更大的作用。
Our two sides agreed that over the past 47 years, the China-Fiji relationship has grown from strength to strength. And the most fundamental principle is that our two sides always respect each other, trust each other, and support each other. China appreciates Fiji's firm commitment to the One China policy and will, as always, support Fiji in maintaining social stability and national harmony, in upholding independent foreign policy, and in playing an even bigger role in international and regional affairs.
我们一致同意进一步加强战略对接，不断拓展共建“一带一路”在框架之下的经贸、农渔、旅游、民航、教育、执法、应急管理等各领域的务实合作，实现互利共赢。中方欢迎总理作为南太国家代表来出席金专家领导人的活动以及全球发展的高层的对话会。
Our two sides agreed to further synergize our strategies, expand cooperation in economy, trade, agriculture, fisheries, tourism, civil aviation, education, law enforcement, emergency management, and other areas within the framework of Belt and Road cooperation for mutual benefit and win-win outcomes. And China welcomes Mr. Prime Minister as the representative of South Pacific countries to participate in the BRICS Plus leaders events and high-level dialogue on global development.
双方一致强调，应对气候变化是我们面临的共同的紧迫的挑战。中国同斐济将继续建设性参与全球应对气变的多边进程，共同推动巴黎协定全面有效的落实，实现更高水平的全球绿色、低碳、可持续发展。
Our two sides also recognize that climate change is a common, urgent challenge facing all of us. China and Fiji will continue to take a constructive part in the global multilateral process on climate change and jointly promote full, effective implementation of the Paris Agreement and realize low carbon, green, and sustainable development of the whole world at a higher level.
不论国际地区风云如何变幻，中方始终将斐济视为太平洋岛国地区的重要合作伙伴。中方愿同菲方一道，牢牢把握两国全面战略伙伴关系的方向，深化互信，拓展合作，推动两国关系走向更加美好的未来。
No matter how the international landscape may change, China always sees in Fiji an important partner for cooperation in the Pacific Island region. China will continue to work with Fiji to firmly keep to the direction of our bilateral, comprehensive strategic partnership, to deepen mutual trust expand cooperation, and facilitate an even brighter future of our bilateral relationship.
我这次到斐济还有一项重要的议程，就是同总理兼外长阁下一起共同主持第2次中国太平洋岛国的外长会。自上个世纪70年代建立外交关系以来，中国同岛国关系蓬勃发展，交流合作不断拓展，涵盖了贸易投资、海洋环境、防灾减灾、减贫扶贫、医疗卫生等20多个领域。中国同10个建交岛国都签署了共建“一带一路”的谅解备忘录，已经成为岛国的重要的贸易伙伴和投资来源国。1992年到2021年，中国同建交岛国的贸易额年均增长13%，30年间扩大了30倍，30多倍。中国企业在岛国承包工程总额超过了200亿美元。中国在岛国实施了将近500个成套项目、技术援助、物资援助和优惠贷款项目，帮助岛国建设了道路、桥梁、码头、医院、学校、体育馆等重要的基础设施，为岛国培养各类人才约1万人次。中国已向8个建交岛国派出了医疗队，惠及数十万岛国的民众。疫情爆
Opportunity to thank you for availing yourselves this afternoon and to be present for this very important event. May I ask that we remain seated? I will request the Chief of Protocol to escort His Excellency and the Prime Minister out of the room. I ask that all others remain seated, please.